Hi, Jim Krigbaum here out of Seattle, Washington. Today I'm going to talk to you about moving your product from being a commodity, which means it's identical to everything else under the same description, to a niche market. As a commodity, you are selling your product based on really two factors, price and timing. And when you're working with just price and just timing meaning that it's the only available product on the market, or you're hitting a specific market in a window of opportunity where other products not coming in, and price, it's a very difficult world when you sell just on price. Your price has to be the best. And that's not your price X works, it's your price delivered into the wholesaler or delivered into the port where you're exporting the product. So you need to move your product from being a commodity to where it has a niche. A niche is where a consumer goes to the market and is looking for a specific product. They're looking for either a brand or something different and something unique. And it's a product that's identified as different in the market. So for example, potatoes. When I go to the grocery store, I buy potatoes and I have no idea where they're from. And in most cases, I don't care, because in my mind, a potato is a potato is a potato. Until I try something different. Maybe I try an Idaho potato, or I try a blue potato, or a certain variety of potato, and I like it. So then I go back and I demand that product. So instead of supplying potatoes, if I'm a farmer, I'm just going to grow a russet potato, or I'm just going to grow a yellow onion. I sell my product as a russet potato or a yellow onion. What if I came in with something different? What if I either came in with a different variety, or I packaged it different? I sized it different. So when the customer got it, they knew that the quality was going to be there, because they recognize the brand, because they want something different. You want the consumer to go into the grocery store, the end consumer to go into the grocery store and look for your brand, look for your product, because they have confidence that the quality is there. And they have to try something different. In the United States, we started buying dried mangoes when Costco, one of the large retailers, started giving away free samples of mangoes. That was something different. People would taste the mango and go, hey, this is pretty good. So then they'd come back and they'd buy it. And then they'd go from the Costco, where they get a 32-ounce bag of mangoes, to the local Trader Joe's and they get a little smaller bag. Now, suppliers at Trader Joe's and to Costco have differentiated their product. So again, they're not just supplying a regular mango. At Costco now, you can get chocolate-covered mangoes. So they're dipped in chocolate, which is a great way to hide a kind of an off-color mango, for example. Once it's underneath the chocolate, you can't tell that it's off-color. And a lot of times you can't tell that the texture isn't necessarily what you were thinking, because you're absorbed in the chocolate. At Trader Joe's, a number of packers are doing chili-flavored mangoes. Another one's doing lime-flavored mangoes. So they're drying them, they're coating them in chili, or they're coating them in lime. So they're differentiating their product. You, as a producer or an exporter, want to sell a product that is different, that is not the same mango as everybody else, that has some value added to it, whether the value is actual or perceived. You want the consumer to look for your product and look for your brand. That moves it from being a commodity, which is sold strictly on price and availability, to a product that's sold at the time that the market is there. It's sold because the product is different, because it's unique, and the consumers demand it. Thanks. I'm sure you'll learn a lot more about it. Your challenge is to go back and figure out, look at your product, look at it differently. How can you differentiate your product? Sometimes you can do it by working with the same product. Sometimes you have to kind of look at your product and say, okay, instead of growing a potato, maybe I do a purple potato. Maybe I do a red potato. How do you differentiate it? How do you find a difference in the market? Good luck.